Welcome to the Bible Quiz and Trivia channel. Today, we got 30 challenging questions from the book of Joshua to test your knowledge. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video to support our content. After the quiz, share your score in the comments. We love seeing how well you do. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. What was the name of the river the Israelites crossed to enter the Promised Land? A. Euphrates. B. Tigris. C. Jordan. D. Nile. Answer: C. Jordan. Explanation: the Israelites crossed the Jordan River to enter the Promised Land. This miraculous crossing is described in Joshua 3:14-17, where the waters of the Jordan were stopped, allowing the Israelites to cross on dry ground. Question 2. Who was the leader of Israel before Joshua? A. Moses. B. Aaron. C. Caleb. D. Gideon. Answer: A. Moses. Explanation: Moses was the leader of Israel before Joshua. God appointed Joshua as Moses' successor to lead the Israelites into the Promised Land, as noted in Deuteronomy 34-9 and Joshua 1-1-2. Question 3. How many spies did Joshua send to scout the city of Jericho? A. 4. B. 2. C. 10. D. 12. Answer: B. 2. Explanation: Joshua sent 2 spies to scout the city of Jericho. Their mission and the assistance they received from Rahab are detailed in Joshua 2-124. Question 4. Who hid the spies that Joshua sent to Jericho? A. Rahab. B. Deborah. C. Miriam. D. Jael. Answer: A. Rahab. Explanation: Rahab, a resident of Jericho, hid the 2 spies sent by Joshua. Her actions and the agreement she made with the spies are recorded in Joshua 2-121. Question 5. What was the sign that Rahab used to protect her house when Jericho was attacked? A. A white flag. B. A scarlet cord. C. A burning lamp. D. A green branch. Answer: B. A scarlet cord. Explanation: Rahab used a scarlet cord to mark her house, so it would be spared during the attack on Jericho. This sign was part of the agreement with the spies, as noted in Joshua 2:18-21. Question 6. How many days did the Israelites march around Jericho before the walls fell? A. 7 days. B. 3 days. C. 5 days. D. 10 days. Answer: A. 7 days. Explanation: the Israelites marched around Jericho for 7 days. On the 7th day, they marched around the city 7 times, and the walls fell after they shouted, and the priests blew their trumpets. This account is given in Joshua 6-120. Question 7. What was the consequence for Achan's sin after the Battle of Jericho? A. He was exiled. B. He was forgiven. C. He and his family were stoned and burned. D. He was made a slave. Answer: C. He and his family were stoned and burned. Explanation: Achan's sin of taking forbidden items from Jericho led to Israel's defeat at Ai. When his sin was discovered, he and his family were stoned and burned as a punishment, as described in Joshua 7:24-26. Question 8. Which city did the Israelites fail to capture after Achan's sin? A. B. Bethel. C. Gibeon. D. Hebron. Answer: A. Ai. Explanation: the Israelites failed to capture the city of Ai due to Achan's sin. This failure and the subsequent investigation into Achan's sin are detailed in Joshua 7-15. Question 9. What strategy did Joshua use to capture the city of Ai? A. Direct assault. B. Siege. C. Ambush. D. Negotiation. Answer: C. Ambush. Explanation: Joshua used an ambush strategy to capture the city of Ai. He set an ambush behind the city while the main force pretended to retreat, drawing the defenders out. This tactic is described in Joshua 8-129. Question 10. How did the Gibeonites deceive Joshua and the Israelites? A. By pretending to be allies. B. By disguising themselves as distant travelers. C. By offering a large bribe. D. By faking a surrender. Answer: B. By disguising themselves as distant travelers. Explanation: the Gibeonites deceived Joshua and the Israelites by disguising themselves as distant travelers. They wore old clothes and carried moldy bread to convince the Israelites to make a peace treaty with them, as detailed in Joshua 9-3:15. Question 11. Which 5 Amorite kings formed an alliance to fight against Gibeon? A. Jerusalem, Hebron, Jarmuth, Lachish, Eglon. B. Ag, Bethel, Gilgal, Shiloh, Shechem. C. Hazer, Megiddo, Dor, Aphek, Tanak. D. Gibeon, Makkedah, Dibber, Gezer, Arad. Answer: A. Jerusalem, Hebron, Jarmuth, Lachish, Eglon. Explanation: the kings of Jerusalem, Hebron, Jarmuth, Lachish, and Eglon formed an alliance to fight against Gibeon because of its treaty with Israel. This event is recorded in Joshua 10-3:5. Question 12. How did God assist the Israelites in the battle against the 5 Amorite kings? A. By sending hailstones. B. By parting the Red Sea. C. By causing an earthquake. D. By turning the enemies against each other. Answer: A. By sending hailstones. Explanation: God assisted the Israelites in the battle against the 5 Amorite kings by sending large hailstones that killed more of the enemy than the Israelites did with the sword. This miraculous intervention is noted in Joshua 10:11. Question 13. Where did Joshua and the Israelites renew their covenant with God after the battle with the Amorite kings? A. Bethel. B. Gilgal. C. Shechem. D. Shiloh. Answer: C. Shechem. Explanation: Joshua and the Israelites renewed their covenant with God at Shechem. This significant event involved the reading of the blessings and curses of the law, as described in Joshua 8:30-35 and Joshua 24. Question 14. What was the name of the city that served as the central place of worship during Joshua's time? A. Bethel. B. Shiloh. C. Jerusalem. D. Hebron. Answer: B. Shiloh. Explanation: Shiloh served as the central place of worship during Joshua's time. The tabernacle was set up there, and it became the religious center for the Israelites, as recorded in Joshua 18-1. Question 15. How old was Caleb when he asked Joshua for the hill country of Hebron? A. 80 years old. B. 85 years old. C. 90 years old. D. 95 years old. Answer: B. 85 years old. Explanation: Caleb was 85 years old when he asked Joshua for the hill country of Hebron, which had been promised to him by Moses. This request and his strength at that age are described in Joshua 14 to 6:14. Question 16. Which tribe received no inheritance of land because the Lord was their inheritance? A. Judah. B. Ephraim. C. Levi. D. Benjamin. Answer: C. Levi. Explanation: the tribe of Levi received no inheritance of land because the Lord was their inheritance. Instead, they were given towns to live in and pasturelands for their livestock, as described in Joshua 13:14 and Joshua 18 to 7. Question 17. What was the purpose of the cities of refuge established by Joshua? A. To serve as military bases. B. To store food supplies. C. To provide asylum for accidental killers. D. To be places of worship. Answer: C. To provide asylum for accidental killers. Explanation: the cities of refuge were established to provide asylum for those who accidentally killed someone, protecting them from the avenger of blood until they could stand trial. This is explained in Joshua 20 to 1:9. Question 18. Which tribe was given the cities of refuge? A. Reuben. B. Levi. C. Gad. D. Dan. Answer: B. Levi. Explanation: the cities of refuge were given to the Levites. These cities were strategically placed throughout the land to ensure accessibility for anyone in need of asylum, as noted in Joshua 21 to 1:3, 13 to 21. Question 19. Who was the last king that Joshua defeated in his conquests? A. Gibeon. B. Adonizedek. C. Oj. D. Sihon. Answer: A. Jabin. Explanation: Jabin, the king of Hazor, was the last king Joshua defeated in his conquests. The battle against Jabin and the burning of Hazor are described in Joshua 11 to 1:11. Question 20. How many kings did Joshua and the Israelites defeat in total? A. 12. B. 31. C. 24. D. 40. Answer: B. 31. Explanation: Joshua and the Israelites defeated a total of 31 kings during their conquest of the Promised Land. This is detailed in the list of defeated kings in Joshua 12 to 9:24. Question 21. What did the eastern tribes build that almost caused a civil war with the other tribes? A. A palace. B. An altar. C. A tower. D. A wall. Answer: B. An altar. Explanation: the eastern tribes built a large altar by the Jordan River, which was misunderstood by the other tribes as an act of rebellion. This almost led to a civil war until the purpose of the altar was explained. This event is recorded in Joshua 22:10-34. Question 22. Who succeeded Joshua as the leader of Israel? A. Caleb. B. Gideon. C. Samuel. D. No single leader. Answer: D. No single leader. Explanation: after Joshua's death, there was no single leader to succeed him. Instead, Israel was led by a series of judges. This transition period is described in Judges 2 to 6:10. Question 23. How did Joshua divide the land among the tribes of Israel? A. By casting lots. B. By military strength. C. By the size of each tribe. D. By seniority of leaders. Answer: A. By casting lots. Explanation: Joshua divided the land among the tribes of Israel by casting lots, ensuring that the division was according to God's will. This method of distribution is mentioned in Joshua 18 to 6:10. Question 24. Which city was given to Caleb as his inheritance? A. Jerusalem. B. Bethel. C. Hebron. D. Shechem. Answer: C. Hebron. Explanation: Caleb was given the city of Hebron as his inheritance because he followed the Lord wholeheartedly. This grant is detailed in Joshua 14:13-14 and Joshua 15:13-14. Question 25. What did the Lord command Joshua to do with the horses and chariots of the northern kings? A. Keep them. B. Destroy them. C. Use them in battle. D. Trade them. Answer: B. Destroy them. Explanation: The Lord commanded Joshua to hamstring the horses and burn the chariots of the northern kings. This command was to ensure that Israel would trust in God rather than military might. This is described in Joshua 11 to 6:9. Question 26. What was the name of the mountain where Joshua built an altar and wrote a copy of the law of Moses? A. Mount Sinai. B. Mount Zion. C. Mount Ebal. D. Mount Hermon. Answer: C. Mount Ebal. Explanation: Joshua built an altar on Mount Ebal and wrote a copy of the law of Moses on stones. This event is recorded in Joshua 8:30-32. Question 27. How many days did the Israelites set aside to gather at Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim to recite the blessings and curses? A. 1 day. B. 2 days. C. 3 days. D. 7 days. Answer: A. 1 day. Explanation: The Israelites set aside 1 day to gather at Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim to recite the blessings and curses. This covenant renewal ceremony is detailed in Joshua 8:33-35. Question 28. What was the name of the place where Joshua buried the bones of Joseph? A. Hebron. B. Shechem. C. Bethel. D. Gilgal. Answer: B. Shechem. Explanation: Joshua buried the bones of Joseph at Shechem in the plot of land that Jacob had bought. This burial is mentioned in Joshua 24:32. Question 29. How old was Joshua when he died? A. 100 years old. B. 110 years old. C. 120 years old. D. 130 years old. Answer: B. 110 years old. Explanation: Joshua died at the age of 110 years. His death and burial are recorded in Joshua 24:29. Question 30. Where was Joshua buried after his death? A. Jerusalem. B. Hebron. C. Timnath-Serah. D. Shiloh. Answer: C. Timnath-Serah. Explanation: Joshua was buried in Timnath-Serah, which is located in the hill country of Ephraim. This is detailed in Joshua 24:30.